Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, March 29th, 2026, and this is episode 132. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And I did not get up to a lot of things this week. I made a lot of progress on some things. So I have one finished object and 3 works in progress to talk about today. I did not get any mail or any new yarn. So let's hop in with what I am wearing. I'm wearing my Salty Days sweater. No, Salty Air sweater by Samantha Guerin. And it has this beautiful lace yoke and then just plain stockinette all the way to the bottom. It has a twisted rib detail on all of the hems, collars, cuffs, short sleeve. It was pretty easy. I knit this last summer. I think the hardest part is the lace chart, so if that is easy for you, it is a pretty easy quick knit because you cast on, you knit a little bit, you do some increases. I can't remember if they're short rows. There might be short rows. Then you do the lace chart, then you split and put your sleeves on hold, knit the body, come back and do a tiny bit before you add the ribbing and you are finished. So it's super quick because you don't have to knit 2 sleeves. You just come back and pick up stitches and do just a tiny bit and then the cuff. So I knit this last summer. I used Yarn Cafe Creations in the color Caterpillar on her sparkle tweed base. You can kind of see that sparkle, and then it's got all the little tweed pieces in there. I enjoyed working on it. This base was really nice. It is a fingering weight, and I believe I knit the size 2. I think that will be linked in my Ravelry project page. Everything I talk about will be linked in the description box below. I'll have a Ravelry project page for all of my projects. I will have the website where I purchased the yarn, and I will have the Etsy shop where I purchased the bags that are holding the projects that I am working on this week. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can on that. So let's start with what I have finished. I finished my string of light socks. These are going to be a gift. I did 64 stitches, and I did a 2x2 rib cuff. At the top I used a size 0, US size 0 2mm needle, and I did 20 rounds of a 2x2 rib cuff. Then I did the string of lights pattern. I did the heel from the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks. This one does have another heel that's a slip stitch, but it's got like garter ridges on the edge. I have never knit that one. I think I should eventually, but by the time I get to the heel, I'm like, oh, I'll just put in this one that I know. And then I finished the pattern on the foot, and I did the toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks on magic loop. So I do everything on 9-inch circulars until I get to the toe, and then I switch to magic loop. I was right here on the first sock last time I showed these. So So it's right there. I finished the foot and the toe and knit a whole nother sock in the last week. I guess lots of people always tell me that I don't have gaps, but I kind of do. When I pick up my gusset stitches, I always pick up one stitch on both sides where I do like a make one left or a make one right. I pick up that stitch right there, and then I just decrease it out following the decreases in the pattern. So I think that was also in the Crazy Sock Lady's YouTube tutorial that goes along with her sock, her vanilla sock pattern. But this is the String of Lights by Sock Witchery. This is one of my go-to patterns. If I can't think of a pattern or I want something that's not vanilla, this is the one I go to. I'll go String of Lights, Stack of Books, or Second Breakfast from Sock Witchery, and then sometimes I'll do the Morning Coffee Socks by Crazy Sock Lady. I've done the Ryback Roomies by Crazy Sock Lady, and I think those are the my go-tos. So let's talk about works in progress. The first work in progress, I finished those socks and I pulled out my next pair of socks that I'm working on. This is in a My Needle Crafts bag, and I'm using some Momma Jess yarn. This is Momma Jess Knits. This was her sock set for the New Year's Eve cast on. The color is Celebration, and the mini was Midnight. It's 463 yards per 100 grams, and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I think, ooh, excuse me, I am ready to put in the heel. I'm going to use the mini for the heel, and I was right here last time I showed it. I am also doing the String of Lights pattern on this one. This is the main color, and the blue, this is Midnight. I did pretty much exactly the same thing. I cast on 64 stitches with a US 0 2mm 9-inch circular needle. I did the cuff. I have not woven in any of my ends. When I switch colors, I just drop one. Let me see, did I? Yes. I just drop one, pick up the next one, and then a couple rows after that, I will tie these two just in a simple knot so I can keep them kind of tight as I'm working. And then after I go back, I will, when I finish this whole sock, I will weave in all of these ends. I like to weave in the ends as I finish the sock and then start the next sock. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 3 more rounds before I put in the cuff or the heel. So I'm going to be working on these ones this week. And I think that's all I have to say about this one. The next thing I worked on is in a Redsldycreats bag, and this is my Jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry. I'm using some handspun that I had purchased at a fiber thing I went to. And I was right here last time. I've done not much more. So I'm not quite halfway. I did put on a twice shared sheep row counter, so I remember which row I need to do my increase on. It has a 3-stitch I-cord edge on both sides, and then this is a half fisherman's rib. I don't know how well you can see that. And you knit in the row below, purl, knit in the row below, purl all the way across, and then when you get to the back side you just knit all the way across. So it's pretty mindless. You do have to remember if you're on the front or the back, this row counter, I know if it's on my right, I'm on the front, and if it's on my left, I'm on the back. Sorry about that. That was probably pretty loud that I'm on the back if it's on the right, or on the left, I mean. And that helps that I have this on the front also. So I am enjoying this project so far. I've never worked with handspun before this project, so there's some thin spots, some thicker spots, but I am enjoying it. I picked this up after dinner a couple nights ago and just knit and knit and knit. So we'll see how far I get on this one this week. I think I want to keep working on this. I want to make some more progress on this and get this done. I have about 5 sweaters that I want to cast on, but I'm telling myself I need to wait. I counted my works in progress on my phone. I have the Google Keep app, and I have all of my works in progress on there, and as I mark them off, I don't know if that was blurry or not, sorry, as I mark them off, I put the date that I finished those string of white socks. I cast them on March 1st and finished them March 28th. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 works in progress right now. I started the year with 22 works in progress. I want to finish some blankets. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blankets going right now. I think I should finish a couple blankets, 1 blanket, before I cast on any more sweaters. So we'll see how that goes. I give myself permission to cast on whenever I want to, but I only have 16 works in progress right now. So that means I got 6 off the needle since the beginning of the year. That's pretty nice. I have cast on more things since the beginning of the year. So let's talk about this one. This is one that was cast on at the beginning of the year in January. I brought it, I think I cast it on in November. So this is a Sassy Sacks. I love these ones for sweaters. A little table right here, and I'm putting everything on. I am doing the, oh, my needle is caught. I'm doing the Stria Cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and I was right there last time. I've done at least 3 more stripes, 3 more colors. 1, 2, 3. This is for my daughter. She asked if I would make her a red, white, and blue striped cardigan, and she really loved the squish and the way this one looked. So I said, yes, I will make that for you. So right now I am just back and forth. I don't have to count anything. I do have to count my rows because you do 5 rows of white and then you do your stripe. So I have to count my knit stitches and then do a stripe, but other than that I can just knit back and forth, so it's been really easy to pick this one up and just keep going. Before December I had not split for the sleeves yet, and so I still had to count and keep track and use the pattern so I could know when I needed to increase. There is a chart in this pattern as you're going along until you get to the sleeve separation, excuse me, and it tells you when to do the increases and where to do the increases. So some of them are the raglan increases and some of them are neckline increases, and so you follow the chart to do that. And I was able to mark off every line in the chart as I was doing that. Some days I didn't feel like getting my chart out, so I didn't want to work on it. But now it's easy. All I gotta do is grab it and I can work on it. I'm using Knit Picks Stroll. The white is the Bear color. The red is the Strawberry. And the blue is Serene. And those are all the things I worked on this week. I am doing the second size in the Stria, I think. Pretty sure I'm doing the second size. It's knit on a size 2. And I believe that's a 2.75. I can look. Size 2, 2.25. No, 2.75. I don't have my little needle thing over here. Size, US size 2. I think that's a 2.75 millimeter. Or 2.5, no. I think it's a 2.75. So that's everything I worked on this week. Super short today. We had a 5-day week this week at school. It didn't seem that long though, probably because we just had 10 days off for spring break. We go back for 4 more days and then it's Good Friday and we have that day off. Then Easter. We only have 2 months left of school. April and May, and then we're finished. Our last day is the last Friday in May, I believe. I don't think we have to go back in June at all. So not much time left in the school year. It is warming up here. We are getting some green grass. I think some of the trees have buds on them. I don't think they've got leaves yet, but they do have the little tiny buds. It is 73 degrees outside right now. beautiful blue skies, a couple puffy clouds, but we still have zero moisture in the forecast for the next little while. Don't think that's going to be good for us. I'm pretty sure we're going to have water restrictions this year. Please don't water your lawn. Try not to use a lot of water. So we'll see how this year goes for the summer. We might all have dead lawns by June. Hopefully it's not too hot this year though. I hope it's not too hot this year. But I think that's all I had for you today. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment on what you are working on this week. Let me know how that sweater's going for you, or those socks. Did you start a new project this week? Let me know in the comment section, and then I will see you next Sunday. Until then, happy knitting.